Hello, welcome to this week's video. Today we'll look at last week's training. We'll follow me for a Thursday hill session, and then we'll discuss briefly, hopefully, maybe, something I call marathon training support. I totally just made that up. Enjoy the video. So, as we can see over here, it was a deload week last week. So I only did a volume of 62.22 kilometers. And pretty much all of it was just easy running with one actual rest day. Look at me go. So on Monday, 30 minutes easy, nothing special. Then, this was in last week's video. It was supposed to be 14 kilometers. So what was it, 3Ks warm up, 8 kilometers of progressing paces up to around marathon pace, and then 3 kilometers cool down. Called it short again. If we look at that run, so I did 4K warm up, look at me go. Then I did drills, and then we did 439, 439, and then 428, 427, and then I was supposed to go for between 15 and 20-ish, around there, for 2Ks, and then for 2 more Ks around marathon pace, so between 410 and 415. But we called it short because my soleus was way too tight and sore and painful, and because it was a deload week, it didn't matter, so it was all good. Wednesday I took a rest day. On the Thursday I did a 12K run, so 60 minutes with strides. Then easy 8Ks, 20 kilometer longish run. Okay, so that was, I guess, the long run last week, but I did it slow, as you can see, 5:44 pace, so much slower. It was just an easy run. I ran that with a friend, and then Sunday was just an easy 7Ks or 6.9Ks. That was the training, nothing crazy. Sorry, no fancy interval sessions or anything to talk about, no fancy long runs. If we just look at the overview of my training, so last week was week 6, that was this deload week over here, 62. So as you can see, I came up to 96, 95, 97, then 102, then we did a deload, so we've done a nice chunk of volume here. Then this week that I'm currently in is this one over here. So decent volume for 3 weeks straight, then deload, then volume for 3 weeks straight, then deload, then volume for 1-2 weeks. This will change because I think I might be able to do this run on the weekend here. We'll still see. And then this week is a big week, and then for these 3 weeks I start tapering for the marathon. So that's all good. As you'll see in this next part, I take you along for my hilly medium long run. And once again, this stupid camera that I have isn't charging. I don't know if it's because it's old and breaking or if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. Anyways, roll the clip. Yo! So this stupid camera of mine keeps not charging. I don't know what's going on. So now I went past my house, picked up my phone. Now I have to run with a stupid phone in my hand. I don't like this at all. So I've got one more hill rep. I did 4K warm up, and this hill is 1 kilometer long, and I've been going up and down the hill for the last hour or so. I've done 19 kilometers, so one more to go. The last kilometer I'll be doing more like strides up the hill and then walking in between and getting a proper recovery.
can't really see the incline on the camera. It always just looks flat on film. So, I don't know. Can you see it? It goes up and around. No, I don't know. Man, I'm really annoyed with my 360 Go. I don't know why. Lately it's just not charging. I put it on the charger for like ever, and it just, as soon as I go for a run, I take like two little clips and it just dies. So I don't know. We'll see. Need to make a plan. One thing's for sure though, running with a camera, like a phone in your hands like this, really works on the shoulders. Damn. Okay, so I'm 20 kilometers in, and we're going to go back up. I don't know if you can see. Just trust me, that is the uphill. So we're going to go 1 kilometer back up, and the idea is, so I'll try to show you, in South Africa, our street lights look like this. Well, here where I live, and they are about 30-ish meters apart. So usually when I do these hill sprints, hill strides, it's not full on sprints, it's more like strides. Usually when I do these, I go for two street lights, and then I walk for 2 street lights, then I go for 2 street lights. Now when I do these hill strides, I'm not full out sprinting, I'm just, ooh, nice cars incoming. One day when I'm big, I don't go full out on the sprints or these strides. It's just thinking about quick feet, high knees, and like snapping off the ground. It's just for leg turnover, and then I walk slowly between the poles, and I make sure I'm quite recovered before I do the next one. Start the first one over. There's the first pole, and then I'll go shoop up there. Okay, I don't really know how I'm going to record this. Okay, let's do the first one with a front on view like this. Okay, ready? Okay, go. See, not far, not a full sprint, and then we just walk. Oh, this next section is steep. I don't know if you can see, but it's a gradual uphill, and then there it gets quite a lot steeper. Okay, next one, 2 street lights. Ooh. Okay. There's the second one. So today's Thursday. I do a medium long run. It's usually about 70% of that week's long run. So this week I have a 30k long run. So 70% of that is 21. These medium long runs I try to always make hilly. The only times I wouldn't make them hilly is when my Achilles or calves are sore, which isn't the case today. So I run these at threshold effort, not threshold pace. There's a difference. Now it won't be true threshold because I don't have a lactate monitor and all that stuff, but because I'm going uphill, obviously the pace is slower, but the effort's still high. So for the first, well today, for the first 4 or 5 uphills, I try to not have my heart rate go over 170. And then obviously I try to do that also in the 6th, 7th and 8th rep, but at a certain point the heart rate just spikes, because obviously at that point I'm already over my lactate threshold, and with the fatigue and everything it's just not clearing the lactate. So today I ran most of the reps uphill around 445, 450, and then important thing to note is on the downhill, so the 1k down, I try to always have my heart rate come back down all the way to 130. Okay, but enough talking. Let me do one more rep. This one isn't too steep, so yeah, let's go. Ooh. I usually run these at around 3 minutes per k, these quick little short bursts. So it's not a full sprint, but it is fast. Almost done. I think about 3 more of these, and then we've done it. Real question, who of you on recoveries and stuff stop your watch? I used to do that. When I would stop at a traffic light or whatever, I used to stop my watch. Because I didn't want to skew the Strava data, you know. From my understanding, when you stand still, Strava stops anyways. So there's that. And that's a way you can see if people are cheating their Strava posts. If they'll say 10k tempo or whatever, and then you look at their moving time and elapsed time, and the difference is like 20 minutes. Now sure enough, maybe they did warm-up drills before the tempo, but usually on those graphs you can also see often later in the run it drops off suddenly. That means they stopped there. Guys, Strava data isn't that important. No need to lie. Just run and post your post. That's it. These hilly medium long runs are not supposed to kill me too much. Because with marathon training, the long run, which happens in 2 days' time, is more important and more specific. But what I have noticed is these mentally are insanely challenging, especially with the hills. You know, it's all fun and games on the first few hills and you're feeling strong, and then you look at your watch and you realize you're only 11 k's in or 12 k's in. You still have 9 k's or 8 k's or whatever to go. That's when this mind of yours starts telling you, let's just cut it short. It's not going to make a difference. So I'm hoping that come marathon day, in those last 10 k's when you want to go, I want to cut it short, you can think back to these hilly medium long runs and go, nah, I did it then, let's do it again. Okay, enough blabbing, last run. You guys get to see my beautiful face again for this last rep. You know what? Life is quite easy when you make yourself laugh more than you make others laugh. So I make myself laugh quite often. Okay, last rep, here we go. Ooh. I hit 245 on that one. Nice. Sorry that I didn't get more of this run. I don't know, stupid camera. I'll make a plan. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really don't want to spend how many $1,000 just for another little camera. Must be nice when you have a YouTube channel and someone's following you on a bike filming you, hey? What a life. Yo, imagine. Anyways, cheers.
So today I want to talk briefly, not long, about something I just called marathon training support. So these are all these extras you might want to be thinking about instead of just thinking about the interval sessions, easy runs, long runs. These are the extra things that will help you improve. So the first one, which is one that in my previous marathon block I didn't pay as much attention to, and that is recovery. Everyone talks how important recovery is, and I'm not talking about rest days or sleep. Recovery in terms of what I fuel myself with, pre-run, post-run, and that's the important one that I want to talk about. So just post-run nutrition. So in this marathon block, and even in the 10K block I did before this, after every single run, I drink a recovery shake, and I supplement it by eating something as well. So usually it's a carb heavy thing, because the recovery drink mix that I've bought has a lesser carb to protein ratio, so I just eat some more carbs. I definitely have noticed a big difference drinking this. One important thing about this is timing. I take it straight after my run. That is, I think, what has made the key difference. In my last marathon block, I did eat properly and I ate a lot of protein after I had intense workouts, but I didn't do it straight after workouts, so my immune system and everything was compromised for a few hours after the run, and I must say I felt sick more often and injuries just felt like they lingered more. It's definitely made a big difference for me. So that's the first one. Eating something and also getting a recovery shake straight after a run. Next one is strides. And for my wife, for example, the programs or the training that I've told her to do sometimes is often just easy runs most of the time, and then strides every now and then. And she's done really well with just those two things combined. So if you're a beginner runner or if you're someone who's just getting back into it, honestly, if you just do easy running plus strides, I think you'll surprise yourself. What strides are? Very simple. I do about 5 or 6 of them, and it's about 80 to 100 meters in my case of accelerations, where I get down to about 3 minutes per K, maybe a little bit faster, maybe a little bit slower. And again, my marathon pace is 4 minutes 15 a K, so 3 minutes a K is quite a bit faster. So it's really just working on that leg turnover and building your running efficiency. So I highly rate strides. Also with strides, you run for this 80 to 100 meters, accelerate, and then you walk and you recover almost fully. Next up is hills, incorporating hills in your training. Now, I am not the biggest fan of hills because I'm a big person who weighs a lot, and hills are exponentially more tiring for me, I believe. I'm probably just making excuses, but I'm going to stick with that. That's my truth. But I also understand that they are vital to your training. The further you are out from the marathon, especially if it's a flat marathon course, the more hills you want to incorporate, and the closer you get to the marathon itself, the race, you can start reducing the amount of hills that you want to do, because they are just supplementing your other training. They aren't specific if your race isn't very hilly. Obviously, if you have a very hilly course that you have to run, then incorporate them. That's a no-brainer. Even in sessions, incorporate them. So in my opinion, there are 3 main ways that you can incorporate hills into your training. The first one is short hill sprints. These can range from 8 to 10 seconds, almost like strides up a somewhat steeper hill. And those are to work on your running economy and efficiency. It is pretty much a safer form of speed training. just because there isn't as much impact on your skeletal system and everything when you're running uphill. This one I would incorporate in any kind of training, 5k, 10k, half marathon, whatever. Second one is longer reps up a not as steep of a hill, and these you want to be doing about 200 to 300 meters long reps. So these I would incorporate in, especially in 5k and 10k training block, because they work on your VO2 max. So what you do is you run 200 to 300 meters up the hill quite fast, and then you just slowly jog back down, and you do, I don't know, 20 reps of these. They are very good for you, very good for your VO2 max training, which is, in my opinion, not that important for marathon training. And then the last way that you could incorporate them, or that I would incorporate hills into my training, which is the way that I'm incorporating them into this marathon training block, is what you've seen in the running clip for this video. So these are longer hill reps as part of medium long runs, and it's not a insane pace, so I'm not killing myself, but I'm working hard up the hill, so around about threshold effort. Okay, so recovery, strides, hills. Next up, strength training. So obviously strength training is important. Now for me personally, I probably don't do enough strength training because I run a lot, and if I'm going to be honest, I often am not motivated to do strength training. But so far I'm fine. I haven't had serious injuries thus far. Hopefully it doesn't happen, touch wood. So yeah, strength training, just a few points on strength training for running specific. Do not do high rep, low weight training. That is something completely different. What you should instead do is working on that bone density and strength, like pure strength. So reduce the rep amounts. So I would say anything between 5 and maybe max 8 reps. Obviously depends on the muscle group, and use a heavier weight. And very important is to try and do single leg exercises. ATG split squats, Bulgarian split squats, single leg calf raises, single leg glute bridges, single leg RDLs, Poliquin step ups, which is single leg. Those are probably the main ones I try to do almost always. Stuff very good, make strong, yay. Okay, so that's my priority list. There's obviously other things like supplements that you can take to help, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Maybe you've been incorporating them into your training already. Maybe think about it a bit more and make more use of it, especially the recovery shake after a run. Trust me, it is a game changer. You will feel better for the rest of the day, as well as you'll recover better. It is a big deal, trust. Let me know what other things you would put on this list, because I'm not going to mention everything I do, but these are the important ones. And also, let me know what else you want me to discuss. Maybe for a few weeks I should just make just running videos. I don't know, we'll see. Enjoy your training. I hope your training is going well. Mine's going decently well.
But yeah, I'll see you in next week's video. Bye. Cheerio.